Hello, welcome to Abiding Life Studios. I'm Noah Wells.
And I'm Shay Wells.
All right.
I don't know what to say after that,
Yeah,
and I'm Shay Wells.
that's true.
Before we get started though on today's topic, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who liked, commented, shared our podcast on basically like our welcome back, our update podcast where we just kind of said where we've been and what's been going on. We have so much more to share with you guys, but we always really appreciate your engagement with us and over on Facebook as well. So I just wanted to start off with that before we get started on today's topic. So thank you so much. It really just lights us up when we see comments and things. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah,
All right, let's get into it.
great.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so we did have someone, we did ask people if they have a topic they want us to talk about. Someone did respond to that, so it's what they said was responding to pain and suffering.
Yeah, I think that's a huge topic that a lot of people can relate to in some way, shape, or form is pain and suffering.
Yeah, I think we've all had it. I've had it tons for some reason in my life.
Some more than others.
Some maybe more than others, but
Yeah.
that's okay. I learned a lot with all of that. So I'll get into that part. So I guess just to answer that person, I don't know if it was a man or a
I
woman.
believe it was a male.
Okay.
Yeah.
To respond to him, the thing I've learned the most about pain and suffering is, trust me, I'm the type of person that when I used to do this, pray nonstop, try to do everything right. Like, God, I'm doing this right. So now can you fix me?
Yeah.
Now can you heal me? No, he did not. So I went for years getting really angry with him on that and, wouldn't talk to him, or if I did talk to him, it was very rude the way I would talk to him because I was very very angry because, you read the Bible and it's like, oh, Jesus was healing people all over the place. I mean, even if they touched Jesus's robe, right, they got healed. So it's like, why can't you heal me now? And honestly, the biggest thing I ever learned through all of that was to thank God in the pain and suffering. I know that sounds very insane because it's
Very
like, well,
difficult.
very difficult.
Yeah.
Yes, it is very difficult. It took me a lot of time to come to that. But it's still also, there's another piece that comes onto that is if God is in everything,
Mhm.
and that's what he's been teaching me in the last couple of years, is how much involved in so much, even in my
Yeah.
pain and suffering.
That'll be a whole other
Yeah,
podcast.
that probably should be a whole nother
Yeah.
podcast. Because God has really been teaching me a lot about how he is in absolutely everything we do. But if he's in everything, can I trust him in my pain and suffering? And then if I can trust him in that, what is he doing in that with that pain and suffering? Can I just thank him and then move on? And I did that for a long time and it helped a lot of my um I guess distraction of I think the enemy's so good at like telling us, well, look, God's not going to heal you.
Mhm.
He's forgotten about you. He, you're not good enough. You're not a good enough Christian, whatever it is. And maybe my own mind comes up with that too. Because we've all taught, we've all gone to certain churches that tell us if you don't do certain things for God, He's not going to do anything for you, which I do not believe. So, um, but yeah, I think that all being said, there's a lot of pieces to that of just thanking God in the pain and suffering because I'm also trusting Him. He'll take it away when it's ran its course,
Mhm.
right? So, but it's a sticky road. I remember a guy called me a long time ago and he's like, man, I'm having a hard time with God. And this guy I knew for a long time and he's very close to God. So I was like, I couldn't believe he was actually having a hard time with all of this. And he said, I'm having such a hard time. I just don't know what to do. And I said, honestly, you got to thank God for it. Thank God for this problem. And he goes, what are you, crazy?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. And I said, that's the only way you're going to be free of it. And I said, take however long it takes, and then call me when you're done with it. It took 2 weeks, I believe, and he finally called me and goes, man, I see what you mean. I finally did it. I thank God in it. And now, I think when you're thanking God too, you're handing it to him, right? You're like, here, take this. It's not mine anymore to hold on to. I think that's kind of a nice thing too, is like, hey, we're just going to give this to him. And now you're going to deal with it. And I'll just do what I need to do. And that kind of brings up, I think you brought it up a couple days ago to me, was I was in a lot of pain. I get a lot of pain in my esophagus. So I have
Mm,
autoimmune disorder that attacks my esophagus. So I get a lot
it's
of
really
pain.
fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. If I have a reaction, I usually can't eat for like 24 to 48 hours. It's
Yeah.
pretty rough. But so one night I was in bed just sweating from the pain. And I was just like pleading with God, like, God, why don't you just heal me? I don't understand why I need to, like, what is the purpose of this?
Mhm.
Like, what can I actually be learning from this? Like, it doesn't, like, and I'm sure anyone out there who's had pain can agree with this. It's probably what
Mhm.
you've done too, is like, if you took this pain away, I'd be doing so much better. I'd get better sleep. I could, I won't be so
Yeah.
cranky in the morning,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I was just begging him, oh, please just heal me already. Let's just be
Mhm.
done with this. And I think for my autoimmune disorder, I always thought he would heal me. So I never ever went to the doctor for it. I
Mhm.
never like sought out other help because in my mind, he would finally heal me. And so this night, I thought was the night he would finally do it because I am dying here. Like it
Mhm.
was so painful. And as clear as day, he just said no.
Mhm.
And man, did I get fired up about that for about 20 minutes, because it's like, no. What?
What do you mean
What do you mean no? You can't heal me? What's wrong with you? He didn't say anything else to that, just
no?
no.
Mhm.
But I didn't realize until the next morning was he actually freed me to then go to a doctor.
Mhm.
And I don't know why he wanted me to go to doctors.
Although some doctors have become like good friends of
Yeah, that's
ours
true.
and we have great relationships
Yeah,
with
so maybe
them.
that's just why.
I mean, I don't know why, but I will say that most everyone we meet becomes
Yeah,
like a part of this family.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, so I went to the doctor, got on some meds. I was able to eat a bunch more food. I gained
Hmm.
like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I started feeling so much better. So, am I healed? No. Do I
Yeah.
still have the autoimmune disorder? Yes, absolutely. But it's not my focus,
Hmm.
right? And I think that's where it's so easy for pain and suffering to be our focus. I did that for years when I was younger. That would be my only focus. And oh, the depression that comes along that is no fun for anybody.
So do you think that because a lot of us have had pain and suffering, whether it's physical or emotional or upbringing or hard marriages or relationships. Like so many people have been through so many different circumstances in their life. And when you get frustrated and you bring it to God and you're like, can you heal them? Can you heal my marriage? Can you
Hmm.
help my kid who's off the rails? Can you, our finances, our health, there's so
So
many
much.
things that fall under the category of pain and suffering. Um, and it varies from person to person and from, small things that are really hard to deal with to big things that I can't even imagine what those things are, what it's like going through them. But what you're saying is a lot of it is the posture of your heart,
Yeah,
right?
I would say that.
Like
Yeah.
in the sense of it's so easy to focus on our pain and suffering because it's right there.
Hmm.
And
And it's so easy to compare with other people
yes,
that
and
aren't going through the
we've had
pain.
people call us and say this big thing is happening, but I know people have bigger things, and so maybe I just shouldn't think about it. And it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. There are just some things in our life that suck.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's like almost this Christian toxic positivity where
Hmm.
it's like when things are bad, we must just say, but God's going to take care of it, and but God
Hmm.
is still good, and I'm just going to like you're saying, just thank him in this and then live like this perfect,
Hmm.
positive part. But what you're saying is in those hard moments, I thank God for it because I know he's in it.
Hmm.
But then I move forward knowing he's in it. So, like with your medical things, we've had to seek specialists and
Hmm.
things. We both have seen therapists.
Hmm.
We both have sought out people's advice and knowledge and things to help move us forward while still thanking God in it.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that have been pivotal in my life that you've really shown me is that I can take a situation that's really heavy and I can thank God for that, but I can also go to therapy.
Hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't mean that my belief is low. That doesn't mean
Hmm.
that I don't believe that God can do
Yeah.
anything because God still uses people to help us in our lives as well.
Yeah.
And so, like, for instance, the doctor that you're seeing, she's fantastic. And we've seen other doctors and they had no idea what to do with you.
Hmm.
I truly believe that God sent her
Hmm.
to our lives to
Sure.
help get you into a healthier space. But you're also still thanking God and knowing He's in all of it.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like this full picture scenario where I think that a lot of times, at least when I was growing up, I would hear like, oh, finances are tough. You just have to pray. I literally had someone tell me if I just prayed for checks in the mail, God would send me checks in the mail.
Hmm.
And at this point, I was a single mom living on welfare. I didn't have anything to my name. And you know how many checks I prayed for? Do you know how many times I prayed? And he was like, your mailbox will be full of checks because God loves you so much.
Yeah.
Well, guess what then I thought when the checks didn't start rolling in and I was struggling as a single mom? God hates me. He doesn't care
Hmm.
about
Oh,
me.
yeah, absolutely.
All of those pieces, and I think that there's this sense of like this Christian positive toxicity where we just believe if you are just positive and give it to God and then just sit there, the new spouse will come knocking on your door, a new job will come knocking on your door. It's like it's all
Hmm.
just is handed to you. And not that God isn't so big to do incredible, miraculous things, but to thank Him and move forward in it, I think is a piece that we miss talking about.
Yeah, and I think that kind of just goes along with God's and everything. If
Hmm.
you don't believe he's in an unbeliever even, you're not going to go see maybe a doctor that's an unbeliever, right? Because you're like, oh,
Yeah.
God's not in that.
Hmm.
But what God been teaching me is God's in all of that.
Yeah.
And God is walking alongside of us with everything and knows exactly what I need. What I need is way different than what you need,
Our
right?
journeys are very different when it comes
Yes.
to God, but we have the same God who loves us the same. But man, our journeys are so different. And
Yeah.
we both have had similar pains, and then we've also had very different pains and struggles and things, and us being raised differently. I have different struggles with God that you've never had,
Hmm.
and you have different struggles with God that I've never had.
Yeah.
But that's so cool, though, is that He still meets us in all of that, and He still is in all of that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like one of the things that, I know my dad used to always talk about, and you have one hand, you have the problems, and the other hand, you have God. And, you can put God in front and you still have the problem's still there, but your focus is on God. And I get all that. But
Yeah,
what God has been really showing me recently is here's your problem, here's God,
He's in
and
it.
He's in it because He's teaching us something in everything we do.
So, with that, because I think that this has been a really pivotal part in our life, is really thinking about God and problems and then being one that God is in all of it.
Hmm.
Well, then who do you get mad at? Because
I do. I still get mad at God.
because you know
It's not
if
like I'm
God is over
perfect.
here and he is good and he wants you to be, all things good are him, but then he's one with your problems and he allows things to happen, who are we getting mad at?
God, because he still gave me human emotions,
Yes.
right?
I just wrote a
So,
post about that yesterday on
yes, you
on
did.
our Facebook page if
Yeah.
you want to check it
So
out.
that's the thing. He still gives us emotions
Yeah.
and we can still get frustrated. And I'm telling you right now, you can get super frustrated at him and he doesn't kill you.
Mhm.
I've said some terrible things to God and I'm still here.
Okay, so scenario, the economy is a little wonky right now,
Hmm.
right? Things are so expensive and
Yeah, it's unheard of.
it's just wild right now. And even just buying a dozen eggs feels insane. And, our most of us, the economy is going up, but income isn't. And a lot of families are struggling and it's putting a lot of pressure on marriages, which is putting a lot of pressure on families. And so if we're going to walk through life like this,
Hmm.
and people who are listening are having some really big struggles, what are some like tangible things that they can do to start moving forwards? I know like thanking him in it, but then what do we do in the waiting? I think that's my point. What do we do in the
Yeah.
waiting while we're waiting for the economy to right itself, or our marriage to get better, or our health, or our spouse just got a diagnosis, whatever it is, what are we doing in the waiting?
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're shifting to a whole nother topic of trusting in God.
Mm,
So at least that's what I hear what you're saying is
yeah.
now you got to go, okay, do I trust God? Do I trust God with my marriage? Do I trust God with my kids? Man, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I've been through that. That's not easy. Do I trust God with my in-laws? Do I trust God with my autoimmune disorders,
With our pain and
with our
problems.
pains and problems,
Right.
cancer, all that stuff?
Okay.
Do I trust God? And I think that's where once you start, and I've had to do that, and I had to do that recently, it was like God said, okay, do you even trust me? Well, no, of course I don't trust you. What are you talking about? I'm so terrified you're going to take one of my children from me. I'm so terrified you're going to kill my wife, you know? It all of a sudden started breaking all those down of like, okay, no, I don't trust you, but how can I?
Okay. Well, then let's save that for the next podcast.
Okay, how to
How to
trust?
trust and
Okay,
what that means to
that's fine.
trust. So, what you're saying is we can go through life and our problems and our struggles, and we can change our focus onto God and thanking Him in it. But then we have to really start deconstructing and figuring out whether we trust Him in it. And then we'll talk about that on the next podcast.
Yeah, and I think it goes along with like how we've talked about the pen, the pen can be so small in the room
Mhm.
and it can be, you just walk past it. But if all of a sudden you stop and start focusing on it, let's say this pain is my autoimmune disorder. If
Mhm.
I focus on that and that's all I think about, well, then it becomes my whole world.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah.
Well, now it's bigger than everything, right?
Bigger than God.
Yeah, even bigger than God. But what God wants me to do is just throw it over in that corner again and give it to Him and say, hey, I trust you with this. I surrender this to you. Whatever word you want to use with Him,
Yeah.
He's had me use every word. He's had me give it to Him and surrender it to Him.
Yeah.
So I guess He does see those two different because
Hmm.
He has had me do both words. So you surrender to Him, throw that pin back over in that corner, and then trust, this is the hard part, trust that He will remove it when it's time to remove. And that I think that's a really hard one because I don't like being uncomfortable.
None of us do.
Yeah.
That's
So,
why, I mean, show of hands of who has prayed the most like drastic prayers. If you
yeah.
do this,
Yeah.
I will do this.
Yeah.
I will start checking the boxes. I will start doing all of these things. I will be the perfect little Christian if you just please do all of these things, because we start scrambling
Hmm.
and we start, I mean, scrambling is the only word I can really think of because that's what I do. Is it's like you start getting uncomfortable and then you start freaking out, and that doesn't help.
And just to say, I really do feel for the people that aren't used to pain.
Yes.
Like, you have people call you and go, man, I just found out this diagnosis and I'm in a lot of pain.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, I feel for you because even though I'm used to pain, I, I mean, it still isn't fun,
Yeah.
but I'm used to it. I'm used to that feeling of
Mhm.
what's doing it. So someone all of a sudden just has a life that has no pain and then all of a sudden has pain. I feel for you.
But
I
even
really
then,
do.
you have been kind of pain-free and a lot of your ailments have
Yeah,
gotten
way better for
better.
sure. Yeah.
So then when all of a sudden you do have like a massive pain spell, there are
Hmm.
times that you're like, I can't believe I have
Yeah.
had these so many times because it kind of has now started catching you off guard.
Hmm.
Where before you were so used to them
Yeah, absolutely.
and now you have them and you're like, what is this?
Well, I think that just happened
Why?
like a couple of weeks ago, didn't it? I
Yeah.
had like, I forget what was going on with
I
me.
can't
Something with
remember
my
what it
throat, I
was.
think. But
Your throat or your stomach, and like I
yeah,
think it was
and
your
then,
stomach because you hadn't had like
yeah, real bad
that
stomach
stomach
pains.
ache in a long time because Noah gets these weird stomach aches that almost like shut down his stomach and it's
Yeah,
crazy
it's
what
weird.
happens. And we didn't know what it was. And then his new doctor kind of figured out and gave him some medication for if it happens. And it hadn't happened in so long that all of a sudden you had that pain and you were like, what is this?
Well, and
Why am
then
I
the
dealing
next
with
day,
this?
I was so defeated. I was like, I felt like I was going to square one again. It's like, no, no,
Yeah.
no. What have I done? I've
Yep.
I've made this my focus again. No, no, no,
Yep.
no. Let's check this. Even though I know what to do, I still get caught off guard and
Hmm.
make my problems my focus.
Yeah.
And
Because you're
you just,
human.
yes, and I just have to go and recognize, oh, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, God, here you go. You can have it. It's
Yep.
it's a process, honestly.
It is. Okay, so we're gonna thank God in our problems and our struggles. We're gonna move forward, realize He's in it, and then we'll talk about next podcast on trusting Him.
Okay. So I hope that helps. I mean, that's what I've learned the most out of pain and suffering was just to thank him in it. Um,
And I just want to add one thing. It's okay to not understand why He's doing it. Because I
or
think
allowing it.
for me, I'm the kind of person that I want all of the facts before I start moving forward in anything. No one knows, like if he wants to buy a car or something, he's going to do all the research, write down all the facts, bring me all of the details because he knows that for my brain, I need all of those to make a decision. So sometimes when God has me walking through something, I want to know what the end plan is, why he's doing it, what is the purpose, what am I learning in it? And I then get frustrated because I don't have that answer because that's all part of my distrust is sometimes we can go through the pain and the suffering without needing to know why. And a lot of
Mhm.
Christians have sat me down and said, oh, but God has a plan for this. And I'm like, what's the plan? Cool, you can tell me God has a plan for this pain in my life. God has a plan for this struggle in my life. What is it? What's the
Hmm.
lesson here? And I don't get that answer, and then I get even more frustrated.
Hmm.
And I
For
think
sure.
sometimes being okay with not knowing has been one of the biggest lessons for me to learn specifically is also with the trust, which will go in our individual reasons of trust next podcast. But for me, I had to be okay with not knowing the why. I had to be okay with just sitting in the pain I was in or the suffering I was feeling without needing to know the end solution. And that was really
Mhm.
difficult for me, but it's something that I kind of have to remind myself of from time to time. Is there a lot of answers I'm not going to have? Maybe ever.
Yeah, and to your point, I agree. Some of my pains have gone away, and I have no idea why they were there.
Yeah, or it
No lesson I
feels like
learned there. Yeah.
one thing resolves and then bam, next thing is right there and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Or there are times where I'm like, "I felt like I've already learned this lesson. Why are we doing this again? I feel like we've already checked this box, God." But to kind of release yourself from it which is all part of the trust, which we'll talk about. But to release yourself and go, God, if you're in all of this, I can just move forward in that trust and just show up
Yep.
empty every day,
Yep.
which is hard to do for a control freak like me.
Yeah, and I think to your point, and what's helped me a lot too, and I think it's helped you, is just recognizing
Yes.
God is in something through our day,
Yep.
right? Is, oh, I recognize you're here, God, but I'm going to keep moving forward. And if
Yep.
you don't want me to go someplace, I know you're big enough. You've made the whole universe. I think you can shut a door or
Yep.
two if you don't want me to head in this direction.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we get stuck for sure on, oh no. And I did. I mean, I got stuck of like, no, he's going to heal me. I'm never going to go to the doctor.
hmm You had many people lay hands on you,
Yeah, I've
many
had,
people
well,
around the world, and them flat out telling you, I'm going to pray for you and you will be healed. And then that was so discouraging because then you weren't healed.
hmm.
And then it was like, oh, and then you have to sit in that,
Yeah.
which is a
Yeah, and I've even had
whole
people say, well,
mix.
you weren't healed because your faith wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. That makes sense. So now it's back on me.
Now it's your fault
Yeah.
because you didn't have the
Because
right prayer, the right faith, the
because
right,
because my God's not big enough.
yeah,
It's just so funny to me. Like God made all of this.
which comes down to their lack of faith.
Yeah. And well, and honestly, don't say that you're a healer when you're not a healer. But to each their own. I mean, I think a lot of people want to feel special, which I
We all
get.
want to feel
I
special.
totally understand. And
Yes.
the one guy that like put his hand on my neck, I was just like, I don't want this, but it's one of those peer pressure things where you're in
Yes.
this like Christian world and you gotta you just let someone do it. Now that I have a voice, I wouldn't let someone do that now. But so when he did it, I was like, okay, so when am I going to be healed?
hmm
Because when Jesus was healing, it was
It was
instant.
instant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And so when you'll be healed in I think 5 days. I thought, well, that's funny because you fly out in 4.
Yeah.
So, so I can't yell at you around. Yeah,
Interesting.
exactly.
Yes.
Interesting.
And I mean, we're all kooky,
Yeah,
okay?
we're
We
okay.
all have our things. We all have, we all want to be special. Everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people want to be the answer man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I
it
get
is,
all
it's
that.
fine, but it's hard when you're in, like at that point, you were in a lot of pain and you were
Hmm.
really suffering in that sense of pain. So then when someone comes to you and says, "Oh my gosh, God told me he's going to
Hmm.
heal you," and
Yeah.
then he doesn't, and then you're like, "Well, God hates me." And then you're told because you're lacking faith, then it's on you of why God's not healing you. So you need to be better and you need to do different instead of just stopping the whole thing. Just stop.
Yeah, sh stop the shame game, okay?
Stop and go, God, I trust you in this.
Yeah.
I may not see you. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you'll ever heal me, but I know you're in it. And then move forward, which has
Yeah,
been
and
life altering for me.
for me, he's brought a lot of things into my life just so I actually go to him.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact when he takes everything away, I don't go to him.
And I think that's true for a lot of us. I
Yeah.
think when things are going well and everyone is healthy and jobs are going well and our kids are behaving and we can pay our bills, we rarely sit and thank God.
Yeah.
But then when things are a little wonky, we start going, "Hey God, hey, it's me.
Yeah, it's me
You
again.
gonna
Hey.
fix this?"
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
yeah, so what I do when I do pray, if you guys want to know, you guys are probably sick of it by now, but what I do to pray, I just say, hey, will you heal me in this? I wait about 30 seconds to a minute. If there's nothing there, I'm going to a pill. So, because that's how I feel. I feel like if God's going to heal me, it should be instant.
We've talked
Why
to
would it
multiple
take so
people.
much time?
Multiple people we've talked to recently. We were even talking to a chiropractor, and he was like, I truly believe that God can use me. They gave me this gift of chiropractic to heal people, and I have seen people instantly healed through chiropractic care. But he was like, if it's not in God's will, it's not going to be instant. And it was just such a good reminder
Hmm.
that God does things instantly in
Yeah.
that healing.
Yeah, and
He
healing
can.
part. At least that's what it seems like.
Um, but also sometimes he makes us wait. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I'm still walking this walk.
It is. Well, and I
and
mean,
still
that's what's
learning.
so fun though about a relationship with God is that it is so personal and intimate and different for all of us.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's why I don't want, sometimes I know when people listen to our podcast and we share like our in-depth hurts and pains, they're like, well, I haven't gone through what Noah's gone through, so I can't complain. And it's like, no, everything, we all go
Everything is bad,
through
really.
things and we all learn in this life and we learn our own ways. And so I think it's important to not compare, but to just encourage one another to continue going to God and just sitting with each other in those moments, I think is important.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, next time we'll talk about trusting God, which we just did a conference on. So we've got a bunch of that might be a two-parter. We'll see. But next time we'll talk about trusting Him.
All right. Sounds
Mhm.
good. Give it
Thanks,
to
everybody.
God.
Give it to God and move forward. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.